It's Women Who Rock, and I have Samantha Drucker on. And Samantha, we met a few months ago in Miami. We will get to that in just a minute. But for those that don't know Samantha, this girl, listen, she's a lifestyle genie. She's a co-host of Love and Design Project and Sexy is Timeless Talks. You're also, Samantha, the author of, and I love this title, 90 Days to Husband Number 2, a dating system based on a proven technique. There it is. Not only is it in English, it's also just listed in Spanish. So you've gone Duolingo here, but you're an image consultant, journalist, host, actress. You've appeared on numerous TV shows and publications. Samantha, I have you on Women Who Rock because you're a woman who rock, and I want to know, how do you do it? How do you get yourself out there?
Oh, thank you so much, Heather. I'm so honored and delighted to be on Women Who Rock. Really, it's an honor. It's an honor to be considered a woman that rocks.
You are, sis. From the moment I met you, I was like, her.
Thank you. Thank you. The feeling was very mutual, let me tell you. So here we are. So I believe that everything can be marketed. And I believe that the answer to how it needs to be marketed is not always obvious, but it is an art form. So when I started, I was a celebrity image consultant for 20 plus years. And in that time, I served 2 royal families, Fortune 500 companies, all the banks on Wall Street, some of the dot-coms, some of the biotech in that dot-com bubble, and a lot of a smattering of celebrities and politicians and diplomats and some guys and gals that needed help along the way. And it was like a full transformation. So when I started my company, Polished Social Image Consultants, I was like walking down the street thinking, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? So I was a dancer. I started out as an actress dancer, theater trained. I was a ballroom and Latin dancer. And then, you know, as a professional athlete, none of us last forever. And so I could no longer dance at a competitive level. And yes, I was teaching, but that's not where my heart was. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do for the long haul? And what am I going to do to take me back to New York? I was in Boston at that time because I moved back from New York back to Boston, my origin town, because I needed to find a new path. And so I couldn't stay in the city any longer. So I went back home to figure things out, so to speak. So I got a job, I got a studio, and I was like, okay, what am I going to do? I immediately got a job as a makeup artist. And while I was there, I was walking down Newbury Street, and I was like, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? And I was like, oh my gosh, people are so badly dressed and so badly behaved. I can't handle it. Why is everyone so unnecessarily scruffy and rude? So,
and this was before yoga pants, right?
Right. This was before yoga pants, just about. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I know. I should really start a full service firm of image consulting, full service. I was like, I will teach people how to walk, talk, dress, behave, dining etiquette, dating etiquette, flirt, how to flirt, whatever you need. Ooh. I got you.
You were like the female Hitch. You're showing them how to walk, to talk, to dress. I mean, who doesn't need that in their life?
I was the original Hitch.
Yeah.
So I had $100 to my name. So I printed out some business cards. Once I created a logo, printed out some business cards and some stationery. And I put together a little booklet, little pamphlet, like a trifold thing about what services I had to offer. And I went through back then. There was still the yellow pages.
Whoa. For those that don't know, that's a phone book.
The phone book.
You could actually look in a book and find some telephone number. It was like a lead list.
Right? It was. Yeah. Exactly. So I bought some beautiful envelopes. Everything was done nicely. That's where my $100 went, was on the materials. And then I went through the phone book. I wrote up letters to all the local press, local magazines, local TV, local newspapers, local everything I could think of, radio, and licked some stamps and put things in the mail, literally. And then the Improper Bostonian gave me a quarter-page spread in Improper Bostonians, one of their segments, or Proper Bostonians. So that was fun. And then Fox 25. Well, then so the Improper Bostonian came knocking, then the Boston Herald, then the Globe, then the New York Times came.
What?
That changed everything.
So hold on 1 second. I need to understand this. So you have $100 to your name.
Correct.
Instead of rent, food, whatever it is you need to survive, you say, I'm going to take that $100, reinvest it in me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to create my own little lead list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to create, you're doing a physical version of email marketing, right?
Yes.
You're doing a physical version of ads because you're sending things to somebody directly.
Yes.
And then it picks up some steam.
A little bit of steam. Yep. Improper Bostonian, which was a local magazine.
Yeah.
And then the Boston Herald. And then the Boston Globe. And then Fox 25 for Valentine's Day with Namoir Delaney. And then the New York Times kept calling.
The New York Times.
And that is the pivotal moment that changed everything.
Take us there. What happened?
So, the New York Times came to follow me around, and for a day, they had seen the Fox 25 piece. And, so I took them shopping as if I was taking a client shopping. And, I explained my whole thing. And why I felt that communication skills and etiquette were important, and putting your best self forth in the world also important presentationally. And they dug what I had to say. So I ended up with like a fantasy, like a full page spread, front page, business section, Sunday New York Times.
How many copies did you buy?
Yes. And then makeover shows started calling, and reality shows started calling, and all these news shows. And then I had to move back to New York because then the phone was ringing off the hook from New York. And after a year of taking first the bus and then the train and then whatever back and forth every week, which was exhausting, I was like, okay, I told my first husband it was time to move. And in that time, I wasn't married when I started my company. I was celebrating the Boston Herald writing me up when that was the day I met my first husband.
And take me back really quickly from the $100 where you're buying the stationery, you're putting your business together, to the New York Times. How long did that take?
About 6 to 9 months.
You're telling me under a year, Samantha, you go from zero to hero.
Yeah.
Wow. And also take me back. Okay, you have $100.
And Time Magazine called me after that.
And Time Magazine calls you after under a year, 6 to 9 months. We have the New York, we have the New York Post, New York Times knocking on your door. But let me ask you this. When you have that first $100 and you're putting that little logo on the paper, have you always had this confidence? Or was there, take me there. Like, you're like, I'm betting the house on me.
I'm betting the house on me because dying at a 9 to 5 that gave me no passion was not acceptable. So now it's not like I was waiting for someone to give me rent money. I was working as a makeup artist at the counters at Saks, in a department store, and teaching some dance lessons on the side as well. Like I was working 2 jobs. And starting business was my third. So I was really hustling. I was doing makeup. I was teaching dance classes. And then every spare moment and late into the night, I was working, and there was no weekends, and there was I was obsessed. I was on a mission, to become a star and move back to Manhattan. So that's what I wanted to do.
Yes. And listen, get out of the way with a woman with a goal. Come on.
I wanted to reach as many people as I could because I felt that my contribution, this is going to sound crazy. Okay. So I take it with a grain of salt, big grain of salt. I felt that my contribution to humanity could be to help create a gentler, kinder, more alluring world by sharing what I know.
Yes.
I just wanted to help create a kinder, gentler, more aesthetically pleasing world.
Yeah. Yeah. We thank you. Because nobody wants to see sweatpants on guys. Nobody. Okay. Amazing. And thank you so much for that being the why behind your work. Because as a recipient of a kinder, gentler world, I want to say thank you. We're not there yet. We got work to do, sister. But it's heroes like you, as folks, as women like you out there, passing that baton and doing this work, trying to get this kinder, gentler world. Okay, so now we're in the New York Times. We have the Globe coming after that.
Globe, then the New York Times, then Time Magazine.
Then Time Magazine, excuse me. Yes. Now, what year is this?
This is like a year later.
I'm saying, what is this, like 2022? Like when?
This is like during the .com bubble.
Oh, dang, we're talking 90s, right? Up into the early 2000s?
Early 2000s.
Early 2000s.
Really, okay. Early 2000s.
So we're talking about 20 years ago is when your brand really took off.
It exploded in Boston. I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. A small market where people are, where the press is looking for stories because it's a smaller market. But it's not a small market in the middle of Nebraska. It's a small market in Boston. So lots of tech firms were there. And that was great for me because these tech guys in that .com bubble phase, they were having money thrown at them by investors. And yet these were the same guys that could not get a date to the prom.
Well, they're wearing t-shirts and jeans, let's be honest, right?
Yes. And they were playing with the computer instead of playing with other kids. So social skills needed some help. And that's where I came in. And they would come to me and I'd say, okay, lovely to meet you. Okay, great. Why are you here? What can I do for you? Because it's fine to advertise services, but if you're going to be the best, you better be the best. And that means that every single client, no matter what their problem was, I was going to fix it. So I was not a confident child. I'm still okay, now I know I'm badass, but I'm a lot older now.
Yeah, we got 20 years of seasoning of life experience. Yeah.
But my best advice is put your best self forward, put on a big smile, say yes to life, even if you have no idea how you're going to make it happen. Say yes, feel the fear, and do it anyway. And say, yes, can do, no problem. And then you go and you figure it out, honey.
Yes. You take the leap. You invest in you. I love this story so much. What I'm hearing, from a business, marketing, advertising perspective, you niched down. So you found the tech guys. You found the folks that desperately needed your help. You were in the right location.
At the right time.
at the right time. So you found the right location at the right time, and then attitude. And then attitude. I'm going to show up. I'm going to give it my best. I'm confident. Maybe you were playing with a little imposter syndrome. I'm not sure, but you walked in there confident, ready to go.
Right. It was all I had to offer the world. So I was confident in the skills I knew I had, but I certainly never considered myself like a businesswoman, even though I had a dance studio. This was an entirely different thing. And I liked that it didn't take a lot of overhead. Eventually, I got rid of my office. In Boston, you needed an office.
In
New York,
back then too.
Back then,
20 years ago, you needed an office.
You needed an address. And the more respectable an address you could have, the better. So I got the most respectable address in Boston I could afford at the time. And then like 2 years later, I didn't need it anymore. And I was moving back to New York. And New York is a different beast because New York, it helps to have an office, or did at that time. It doesn't matter at all anymore. But back then, because it's New York, people were open to some funky situations, right? So I didn't have an office per se, but I kept my apartment in Manhattan so pristine that it always looked like nobody lived there. So that if I needed to have a client come over to my home, it looked like this deluxe little office. And New Yorkers are, I think, used to some funky situations. So they're like, I said, no, I make house calls. And if you want a dining etiquette class, we're going out for lunch. We're going out for dinner. We're going to go live in the field.
Right. You only learn when you do.
And you do. So I would just render the services differently. Somebody needed makeup. I'd pack up my box and go. I got a lot of wedding work as well. A lot of first dances needed to be choreographed. A lot of makeup needed to be done for these weddings. But I really loved, and it is still my MO. I really love working with press because you can reach a larger audience and share your talents and expertise with a much larger audience than you can working one-on-one. However, people gossip. So one-on-one still has value because that person might say, hey, I just met this person and they helped me and she's great. You should check her out.
Yeah. Can you explain that? So you're saying working with the press, you're saying sending press releases, trying to get on TV and radio. Or do you mean actually you're working with the press to help them with their, style? What do you mean by working with the press?
So being a reoccurring talking head expert for various TV shows was wonderful because they would keep bringing me in for a different conversation each time, but still kind of the same thing. So sometimes we were talking about fashion and beauty, and sometimes we were talking about shopping, and sometimes we were talking about etiquette. Sometimes I was asked to analyze political situations, not what the person was saying, because I don't touch politics with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
But at least not publicly. But they would have me analyze how the politician was saying what they were saying. In other words, the backdrop, the sofa, what they were wearing, the body language. I've analyzed
all the
nonverbal cues. I did a lot of body language analysis. And it was wonderful. And I was also reoccurring for the Wall Street Journal in the pursuits section, which was, for men. It was like the fashion section for men.
Yeah.
And that was great.
That is
recurring.
Awesome. Do you feel, from a business owner perspective, do you feel like that's still a viable option, or is like the internet, I mean, as a marketer, I'm saying spread your message everywhere. It needs to be in print. It needs to be on radio. Radio still exists. What's your take on that? Do you think today still radio press releases?
So I still love television. I still love radio. People still listen to the radio. But I don't feel like it's an and or. Yes, I still feel that there's some prestige to television. But on the other hand, I don't feel like it's an add or. I feel like it's a why not try and do all of it situation. So lives, YouTube, all of your Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, X, whatever it is you're on, your multiple platforms, your LinkedIn, your everything, all the platforms that we have available, plus live feeds, in addition to whatever articles we can write, whatever we can do to be a guest on someone else's podcast, on someone else's live, in someone else's articles, in the paper, in the radio. So I always say yes and then figure it out. And I always say yes to opportunities.
You never know.
You never know.
Never know. You never know who's catching that press release, that radio drop, this video, your live. You just never know. And I think that might be the biggest takeaway, Samantha, is that you're saying yes. And I feel a lot of business owners, maybe we get stuck, we get, in our own groove, or I'm only doing ads, or I'm only doing social media, when there is so much more out there for us to use to market.
Yes. Yes. And on marketing, I'd say the only thing I don't like is emails. I mean, I do and I don't. I mean, yes, like emails, it's like the formal, here I am. But how many emails do you get a day, Heather?
I know, right? Yes. Good question. Many.
Right?
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes.
So I feel like the emails get a little lost. And while everybody is sending emails and automated generated texts that you immediately think it's a scam, I like LinkedIn, but even more, LinkedIn can be overwhelming. So now I'm going to sound really crazy and old fashioned. I love the phone.
The phone, Samantha, the phone.
I love
You're calling people?
I love the phone.
I mean, listen, we started out with a phone book and it brought us success.
Phone.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have the skills to give some good phone, yes, make a connection with somebody. You can hear verbal cues that you can't read in a text. And they get 1 million. Everybody gets 1,000 emails a day and all these automated texts. So no one's paying attention that way. But if you reach out in an email and send a text, I'd love to follow up with you, or a LinkedIn or an Instagram DM, even though sometimes those I miss from other people because it's still not my natural go-to. But I will call somebody's office. If I don't get them on the phone, I will leave a message. I'll say, hi, this is Samantha. I'm calling to speak to so-and-so. We are linked in on LinkedIn, or we're two people away, 3 people away. We know somebody in common. We do, we have a mutual connection. So-and-so, do you know so-and-so? I know so-and-so. Anyway, I'm calling because I was wondering if you would be interested in collaborating on a blah, blah, blah. And, when it's convenient for you, call me back. Or you get them on the phone, even better. Hi. Oh, I actually got you live. Fantastic. Great. Oh my gosh. I haven't had a phone call with another human being.
I, I, I feel your next niche are these kids. These kids won't know how to hold a conversation.
They can't now.
Oh,
It's a problem.
it's a problem.
It's a problem.
So, well, we'll get to the kids later. We'll save them later.
We'll
I
save
want to
them later.
know today's Samantha. Okay, we released the 90 Days to Husband #2 in English and Spanish.
Yes, and we took the black book from the back of the book because I believe that until there's a ring on it, you're single, sister. So freewheeling. So I feel like women need to understand that they are the star of their own reality dating show. And you just add and delete until a winner emerges.
You heard it here, folks. You first, sisters.
Right.
So
don't waste your time in your youth. And because everybody seems to be named Janet or Michael or Steve, I made a black book so that you don't mix up the Janets or the Michaels.
Yes, you don't want to get it wrong. That's not a good first impression.
No, that happened to me once. So I made that mistake. So I wrote the black book at the back of the book. Now it's available as a downloadable on Etsy. I have a vertical coming out, which is a romantic comedy based on my dating coaching. It's a spoof of me. I get to play a spoof of myself, which is fun. And I have a stand-up comedy set that I've been doing. And I'm right now putting together a 30-minute show for July. And then the big news, which is how we met. So by the end of today, like as we speak, the pilot episode to be pitched to some networks, a couple of networks, very key. I won't mention them. But we're getting ready to pitch. So the pilot episode and episode 2 and episode 3 and episode 4 are almost completely in the can and done. Starting with the first pilot episode, we're just dotting the I's and tweaking the, here and there, and it's ready to go. So, and then, so that's all of the tangible things that have been going on recently. The comedy set, I never dreamed in a million years I would do stand-up comedy. I do dating jokes, of course, and heart attack jokes. Because
okay,
I'll give you a perfect example. I'm a heart attack survivor.
Oh,
so this is my 14th year celebrating my survival.
Yes,
and it really turned me into one bad bitch because I feel like I am unbreakable and unstoppable. And that is my motto. Unbreakable, unstoppable. So, once you hit a moment in life when life throws you some things, you can come out of that. You can either let life take you down or you can fight for it. So I believe in fighting for it. So that's what I did. And I survived my heart attack and then decided I was going to add to the ways that I could give back to the world by advocating for heart health awareness, and particularly for women, because it shows up differently for women. And it is the number one, heart attacks, heart disease, the number one killer of women in this country. So this year I had the great honor of the American Heart Association, Go Red, selected me as one of 10 women to be a part of the 2026 Go Red class of survivors.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So I was able to raise quite a bit of money this year. I've been fundraising for them for 14 years, but this year was a particular honor. I've never been a Go Red woman spokesperson before. So that was huge and it was a blast. And so So heart attack jokes. So I went to this gala and I went to this big event, and there were some other heart attack survivors there. And we were coming off the stage, and one of us, unfortunately, went down. And at first, I thought that she had tripped over her gown. It was this gorgeous woman who is a pageant queen contestant, and she lives in the pageant world. Gorgeous, young, lovely person, a survivor herself. So she's not moving, so we know she didn't trip over her gown. So then, of course, well, luckily, because it was a heart awareness event, 10 cardiologists come running up to the stage. And
one event where you don't have to say, is there a doctor in the room?
10 cardiologists came charging forward. Meanwhile, she is looking amazing, sprawled out like this in her gown, looking all glamorous and amazing. And all I could think of was, honey, wake up. This is your chance to meet a nice doctor. And you have a selection to choose from. Wake up.
Anyway. Yeah. Whatever. Pick one around the room. Oh my gosh. Oh, but she eventually got up and she was okay.
She was taken to the hospital. Now she's okay.
Oh my gosh.
Now she's okay.
Oh my gosh. That, looking back, that's hilarious. You have the litter's pick. Yeah. What flavor do you want?
I mean, yes, there was like a few moments where I was like, oh my God, please pull through. And then I saw the situation. I'm like, honey, wake up. This is your moment.
You go,
take
girl.
Your pick.
Well, that's amazing, Samantha. You have amazing things happening for you right now. The book out in 2 languages, your show, Love and Design Project. We didn't talk about that. Is that ongoing, forthcoming? Is that being pitched?
So Love and Design Project is being pitched. So that's the pilot episode. We're putting a bow on it.
That's what we're talking about. Okay.
Today.
Yeah. Oh,
and
today.
It'll be done today. And I will be showing it to people within the next few weeks. So I'm very excited because it's been a long process. Love and Design Project. I'm now 4 renovations in with my second husband. And he's an architect. I used to design people for a living. So, I'm taste, he's technical. And together we're unstoppable. So
you're
that's
TNT, baby. You're dynamite. Taste and technical. TNT.
Yes. And I really believe that, 80% of the population of this country now lives in an apartment.
What?
80%. I know, blows my mind when I read that.
Wow.
So I'm like, well, why do they keep showing me 10,000 square feet in Texas? I don't get it. No one's living that life anymore. So I was like, oh, Jeffrey, my husband's name is Jeffrey. You remember him? This is what I'm going to do. And I said, this is what we're going to do. You said you wanted someone that a partner you could do a business with. So I get it. You're an architect. I used to design people for a living. We are Love and Design Project, and we're going to renovate apartments together to show the world just how wonderful and how fabulous a city living can be. Just because you're living in an urban environment and you don't have 10,000 square feet, or maybe you do, lucky you. But for your average New Yorker who lives in a studio, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, even a 3 bedroom, it's still not a house. You can't build up. You can't build out. You can't put a she shed in the back. You can't finish the basement. It's limited. So you got to think outside the box to work inside the box, which means you need to think vertically. You need to think convertibly. Things need to move and be flexible and multi-use and reflect your lifestyle. Because, there's form, but there's also function. It's got to work for your unique lifestyle. So that's, and I believe that city living can be marvelous.
Oh, I love that, Samantha. Thank you. Thank you for bringing that show. I am going to put out all the vibes that this gets picked up, greenlit, and we are going to see the first season 1, then season 2, then season 3, and on and on and on and on and on, because we need you, Samantha. We need you in our life. I need to see you on my TV. I need like
thank
a little
you.
shot of Samantha. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Well, I need to see you on TV as well.
Well,
definitely. I need you.
I'm on the come up. We can talk about that offline here, but yeah,
Well, we're going to do better. We're going to have you on my show.
We're going to do it. Yes. I can't wait. Thank you. Oh my gosh. I can't wait. Yeah.
We're going to do a live with you and I, and I want to know more about what you are up to right now and anything I can do to help and to let my audience know all the fabulous things that you are up to.
Oh my gosh. And this is real deal right here, marketing, getting on other people's show, sharing the wealth, sharing the audience, sharing the attention. That's how we win. Samantha, thank you. Hey, before we get off of this little Women Who Rock, any nugget that you want to give women out there who are business owners out there trying to promote their business or their brand or their book, give me one more nugget to send them home with.
Sure. Don't stop. Speak to people that know more than you about the thing you're trying to do and pick their brain. In other words, don't be afraid to ask for help. It takes a village. So reach out to your village for advice, for contacts, for ideas.
Wow. Amazing. Thank you. Samantha Drucker. You can find her online everywhere. This girl is everywhere. YouTube, SamanthaBasudoDrucker.com. Where else can we find you? You can pick up the book, 90 Days to Husband Number 2. Where can we get that?
And on Amazon and on my website. And I'm at Samantha at socialimage.net. You can also find me at Samantha Basudo Drucker. I'm at Samantha Basudo Drucker on Instagram.
Awesome. Please find her there. Thank you so much, Samantha. And best of luck. You're going to be greenlit.
Thank you. Thank you so much.